You guys are now tuned in to Sports Industry Podcast, and boy, a lot has went on the past couple of weeks. NBA free agency, LeBron resigns, and Bronny gets drafted. We get Dalton Knecht at the number 17 pick. A lot has went down, right? And there's a few things that I want to talk about, and it's kind of been on my mind. And let's get it going right now. Bronny James drafted number 55 overall, 55th overall, second round pick to the Los Angeles Lakers. And some people have issues with that, right? Which I truly do not understand. So let's get the record straight, right? Second round pick in the NBA draft at number 55. That is a low risk, high reward type of pick, right? You're not taking any risk at drafting somebody that late in the second round. So we can nip that out the bud. Now let's talk about Bronny James as a player. People are saying he was not deserving of it, and that is totally false. That's totally false, and I just don't believe he had a great opportunity at USC, especially after the cardiac arrest and then having to come back into Pac-12 gameplay, which the Pac-12 was pretty competitive this past season, and having to go all out right after the cardiac arrest, no off-season training, no nothing. So I think that played a big role on how he performed at USC. But when you look at the talent alone, it screams NBA player, right? But it screams NBA role player. And that's honestly, in my opinion, that's what I think Bronny James is going to be. A role player, a star in his role, somebody like a Derek White, and maybe, I mean, his ceiling, maybe, but he's 6'1", is a Drew Holiday type of player. But let's just say Derek White, the ability to shoot the three and defend, I think Bronny James can be that, right? He can be a star in his role, and I am really looking forward to seeing that. Now, which we actually did see a little bit, which is the Summer League. First game was a little rocky, a little shaky from the offensive side of the ball. He shot, I want to say 2 for 9, but those shots were great shots, good shots that just went in and out, or that was just short. And that's going to come with time. That's going to come with repetition, being an NBA game, NBA pace. So I think Bronny James is going to be totally fine, right? He's going to be totally fine. And some people, which I kind of have ill feelings about, how people are saying the only reason why he got drafted because he's LeBron James' son. And is that the case? Yeah, it just might be. Is it nepotism? Yeah, sure it is. But why do people bring that up when nepotism has been everywhere, whether that's in the NBA, the NFL, or business? Couple examples. Bill Belichick gets his son, I believe his son was a defensive coordinator, I'm not too sure, for New England. That's one. Let's see. Kyle and Mike Shanahan. That's 2, right? Let's see, business. Nepotism goes on in business all the time. So that's whatever. NBA, Doc Rivers, Austin Rivers, Giannis and his brother Thanasis. Like, it's going on, right? And it shouldn't be a problem. It really shouldn't, because let's put ourselves in those shoes. And would we do the same thing for our brother, our sister, any family member, our son? Like, will we do the same thing? Absolutely. So people that's hating on LeBron and Bronny because of that should be an absolute, they should be a damn shame of themselves. Let's be honest. But I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, and let's get back into the 2024 NBA draft. Lakers pick number 17. We get a guy in Dalton Knecht from Tennessee, and the reason why that he fell so far to 17, because last season in college basketball, top 5, top 10 player, right? So in the NBA draft, people were thinking he's going to go top 10. He slides all the way to 17, and the only reason because of that, because he's 24 or 23 years old. The NBA draft is known for taking players that are very, very young, 19, 20, with high upside. Dalton Knecht, you know what he is, you know what he's going to be. And at number 17, that's a hell of a steal. The man averaged 21 points a game on 39% from the three. Not only that, but he is a certified bucket with sneaky athleticism. The dude had about 5 30-point games last season, 30-point plus games last season at Tennessee. And throughout his college career, he has not shot less than 36% from the field. So Dalton Knecht is a guy that you can literally play 15 minutes plus a game at the NBA level next season. And I think he'll be very important to us as a franchise for the Los Angeles Lakers. So because you look at it, JJ Redick, you need a guy that can space the floor, that can shoot. And Dalton Knecht showed that he was able to do that at Tennessee. Now, these 2 preseason games against the Warriors and against the Kings, I believe, he shot awful. He has been struggling, right? He's been struggling. I want to say first game was about 2 for 12. Next game, 3 for 13. And from the three-point line, about 1 for 6, something around that ballpark, right? And that it just comes with time, dude. Like, the expectations, I'm not going to have extremely high expectations for Dalton Knecht and especially Bronny James. Now, for Dalton, it's totally different, right? Because you draft him at that spot to give you decent amount of minutes, right? I would hope so, especially being a lights out shooter that he showed last season at Tennessee. So the expectations for him are a little bit different, right? Bronny James, he's a project player. I understand he signed 4 years, $7 million or 1 point something million. It was a very low number. But his expectation, he's going to be with the South Bay Lakers. He's going to be on the road with the Los Angeles Lakers on the bench, and he's going to get in the game when we're up by 20 or down by 20, up by 30 or down by 30. That's when I believe Bronny James will get the opportunity. Now, if he's showing something different potential-wise with the South Bay Lakers, or on the, I forgot what they call it in the NBA, the practice squad, right? If he shows the ability to catch and shoot and defend the opposing team guard in practice, I think he will be able to get about 5, 7, 10 minutes in the NBA. But I don't foresee that happening this season. I don't. And if it does, hallelujah, because we just got a gem, right? So that's the NBA draft. I wanted to touch on that a little bit. And let's get into the free agency, man. Like, it's a lot that went down. A couple big names. And this is basically a Laker channel. So let's start it off with the Lakers, then we're going to get into the Clippers and Philadelphia and how they did Warriors. So Lakers, we stood pat. LeBron James said he is willing to take a pay cut, and our ability to lure free agency to the Los Angeles Lakers has been pretty damn bad, right? The only person that we got was via trade Anthony Davis, a couple mid-level guys, a couple vet minimums, but have we truly got a free agent like a Klay Thompson, like a Paul George, or anything else like that? I don't remember. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but we have not been able to get a free agent like that. And is that the front office fault? Maybe a little. Is that LeBron James' fault? Maybe a little bit. But this offseason, I truly don't believe it's the Lakers' fault. Let's talk about Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson chooses the Dallas Mavericks over the Los Angeles Lakers. I want to say the Lakers offered him about $80 million. Dallas offered him 50, I think. $50 million. $30 million pay cut. Understandable, but you know, the taxes are different in Dallas than Los Angeles. So, but Klay Thompson said something that was very interesting to me, and I'm going to sum it up right now. He basically said if he would have went to the Los Angeles Lakers, that would have been the same thing as the Golden State Warriors in terms of expectations, in terms of media. Klay Thompson said he basically just wants to play basketball. And you know what? I can't even be mad at that, right? You were Dallas. They just went to the NBA Finals. Not a big media market. You got Luka, Kyrie, big names. But do they bring the media like LeBron or Steph Curry does? No. No, they don't. So I truly do understand that. And then if you do go to the Los Angeles Lakers and you get what you need, LeBron gets a pay cut, you will forever be known, at least in your time in a Laker uniform, as the guy LeBron took a pay cut for. So say you do have bad games, you have a bad season, a bad playoff game, that is a lot to deal with. So Klay Thompson, I truly do understand why he went to the Dallas Mavericks over the Los Angeles Lakers. Buddy Hield, this kind of bothered me. Buddy Hield chose the Warriors over the Lakers. And his reasoning was the Warriors have a better chance at winning. And that is absolutely fucking wrong. Totally wrong. So let's go into last season. Warriors finished below the Lakers, couldn't even get into the playoffs, right? That is what it is. Lakers finished 12 games above 500. I think the Warriors did like 10 or 9, whatever it is. So last season, that statement is wrong by Buddy Hield. Lakers, better expectation. The season before that, Warriors, amazing, right? I want to say they get the 6th seed. They beat Sacramento in a playoff game. Then you play the Los Angeles Lakers in the second round. Lakers finishing 6th. So whatever Buddy Hield said about the Lakers, totally wrong. And I don't believe Buddy Hield was really ready for that type of expectations when you play with the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James and AD. So for Buddy Hield to say that he believes the Warriors has a better chance at winning, I think that's totally asinine. It absolutely is. Now, a couple things that I want to get into, right, is the media, and I think this is why Buddy Hield kind of said what he said. The media has pushed this narrative that the Lakers roster is not good enough, and it just seems like everything they say is like the Lakers are the worst team in the West. That's what it seems like, especially from a guy like Tim Bontemps. I think that's his name. Everything that he said about the Lakers is always negative. So that's the issue. It is what it is. But honestly, dude, like, I think the Los Angeles Lakers will be totally fine. We're running it back, and LeBron took about a $3 million pay cut. So we do have the ability to trade a contract like D'Lo for a $20 million a year type player, I believe. I believe so. So we can make a trade deadline move to make the roster a little bit better. But in all reality, I do think the Los Angeles Lakers will be just fine. I think J.J. Redick would do a great job as a head coach. We finished 12 games above 500 in the West. That was stacked. That was absolutely stacked. We won the in-season tournament, and we had a very bad slide during the middle of the season. That's the only reason why I believe the Lakers finished, had to do a play-in and finished 7th in the West. So I think JJ will, hopefully, will not allow that to happen next season, right? Because I think this roster is good. I really do think this roster is good enough. Now, are we great enough to make a NBA Finals run? Is all dependent on LeBron James, AD, and whoever that third player is going to be, whether that's a D'Lo or Rui, just somebody that has the ability to score 20, 25 points per game or 20 points a game, close to 20. D'Lo did 18, I believe. So it just all depends, right? Like, it all depends. It depends on luck. It depends on injury. So I think the Lakers will be fine. Let's run it back. And as a team, we shot good from the 3. Now that is a little, I don't know. It's not a great stat line from this point, right? We didn't shoot a lot of 3s. We definitely did not shoot a lot of 3s. And in the playoffs, we didn't shoot too well. Now, the stats, it is what it is. I believe we were top 8 in 3-point percentage, but I think 28 in 3-point attempts. So we need to shoot more 3s. That's for one, and hit it at the clip like a top 10, like we were number 8 in the NBA. So honestly, man, Lakers, we good. Laker Nation, we straight. We good. We don't even have to worry about nothing, right? You got teams that finished below us in the standings, like a New Orleans Pelicans, a Golden State, a Houston. I don't think the Spurs will be that good. I feel like I'm missing Memphis with Ja Morant coming back. So we do have to worry about that. But I think we'll be totally fine. I think we'll be totally fine. And it is what it is. Now, I want to get into Paul George leaving the Clippers, going to Philadelphia, and why that move can ultimately push them past the Boston Celtics. So, give me a second. Now, Philadelphia. Now you got a big three. You got Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Paul George. Kelly Oubre coming off the bench, Andre Drummond coming off the bench. I think they have great pieces. Eric Gordon coming off the bench as well. Maybe starting, I'm not too sure. And then I believe they just picked up somebody else. I can't remember. Martin from the Heat. So I think Philly would be good, man. The only thing that you have a problem with the Philadelphia 76ers is the ability to stay healthy in the season and in the playoffs. Now, Joel Embiid has proven that he's going to be hurt. Now, is he going to play? Yeah, he's going to play, but he's going to be hurt in the playoffs, and it seems like he's going to be hurt during the regular season. But if they stay healthy, they can put up a fight against Boston. Truly believe that. I truly believe that. And I think, Philly will be top 2, top 3 in these. You got Boston. You got New York. Made great moves. Trade for Mikal Bridges. Totally amazing. Now they need to find a center to kind of replace that effort and Hartenstein, right? So Philly will be good. You got Boston. You got Philly. You got New York. You got Milwaukee, Orlando, Cleveland. I think those are the top teams in the East. Milwaukee's, they're going to be in a hot seat. Not going to lie. They need to find a way to finish better than what they finished the past 2 seasons, first round exit. So, granted, Giannis has been hurt 2 years in a row in the playoffs. So that is a very unfortunate, unlucky position that the Milwaukee Bucks have been in. But they are still under pressure. Next season, with Dame, Giannis, Doc Rivers, they need to get it done. I don't care. Eastern Conference, you beat the Celtics, you lose. You need to do that at the least, right? Minimum. And then I'm going to go back to the West and get into the number 1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. And they made 2 tremendous moves, man. They were able to sign their guy, Isaiah Joe, but then they were able to pick up an Alex Caruso and a Hartenstein. You pick up Caruso for Josh Giddey. I think it's an upgrade on the defensive side of the ball, and the ability to shoot. I think it's still an upgrade, right? So you pick up Caruso, you give up no picks, and all you give up is Josh Giddey. Totally, bro. I don't know how he does it, Sam Presti, but he just fleeced Chicago, in my opinion. So then you get a big body, a big center, which they needed. They absolutely needed in Hartenstein. So I think OKC last year wasn't a fluke. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will continue to get better. Jalen Williams will continue to get better. So I think the ability to finish top 3 in the West, that it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. Minnesota didn't make any moves. I don't think they needed to. They did pick up Rob Dillingham in the NBA draft, so that's somebody that can come off the bench and give you great minutes, great buckets, like a Jamal Crawford, Lou Will. So I think Minnesota did get a little bit better, not too much. You look at it, Dallas Mavericks, of course, we talked about it earlier. Klay Thompson, amazing pickup. You lose Derrick Jones, but I think you get a couple more pieces. You also lose Josh Green. But I think Dallas will be where they need to be, 4 or 5 seed. Denver Nuggets, man. I am very interested to see how they play next season. You lose a guy in KCP. That's a big loss, I believe, for them. That's a big loss. A very great, good, whatever it is, 3-and-D type of player, right? So we'll see what Denver does. I feel like I'm missing some other teams in the West, but the West is stacked. The West is extremely stacked. Memphis is coming back hot with Ja Morant, Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane. Memphis will be in that picture in the mix, right? So Houston is coming up. They got guys, Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks. Like, that team is going to be good. Second year with Ime Udoka. So the West is totally loaded. The Clippers, I'm glad I remembered this. The Clippers lose Paul George, but then they grab a bunch of guys that they're pretty damn solid. So I'm very interested to see what they do. The Clippers, they did good. They did good, I'm not going to lie. But it's the Clippers, and they're going to always clip. Does Kawhi Leonard stay healthy? He kind of did during the season, but in the playoffs, once again, he was not healthy. Does James Harden continue, being that point guard or trying to be a scoring guard again? So I'm very interested to see what the Clippers do. Like I said, Lakers, I think we're totally fine. I really do. Chris Paul goes to San Antonio. I think it's a good move for Victor Wembanyama and his development, right? Having a point guard in Chris Paul be with him, I think it's going to be totally great. Will he make an All-NBA team? I don't know. Maybe. All-Star? Yes. So the NBA, the West, the East, I think the NBA as a whole has gotten tremendously great, and I can't wait for next season to start already. But we got the USA Olympics, and you got five-star dudes and LeBron, Steph, Kawhi, Joel, Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis on that team. So I'm really excited to see what the USA team does against a team like a Canada, Spain, who's always in it. You got Greece now with Giannis. Like, I'm very interested to see what happens right there on the Olympics, man. And that's it for me. Laker Nation, we're going to be just fine. Keep your head up. We got it. And that's it for me, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to Sports Industry Podcast.